Right, when do you stop training? When does training a dog for a sport or an activity or a skill or a lifestyle, when does that ever stop? The answer is never, because every single day of this young black Labrador's life, he is going to receive some form of training, some element of a lesson. He's just come in, he's on his very first rung of the gun dog training ladder, and starts today. Very, very young, he's only 5 months or in and around 5 months old, so it's purely play, it's purely fun. I'm not putting any pressure on him whatsoever in any way, shape or form, because I want him to enjoy his job. I want him to get massive rewards, massive positivity, and enjoy his new life. But his training will never stop, because once, for argument's sake, we've taught him to sit, we will then need to proof that new skill that he's just learned in as many different environments as we possibly can, so that he doesn't turn up in a new shoot or a new place or a new area or whatever and doesn't have a clue what we want him to do. So if he sits here for me, we need to make sure that he sits outside Costa Coffee while his mum and dad are having a coffee. And that's what I mean, where we need to test new skills that are learned, good lad, in as many different environments as we possibly can. Good boy, Milo, good boy, good boy. So this is it, and I always say it, this is him getting to know me getting to know him. Does he know his name? Does he know come? Does he know sit? Does he know basics? But once we start putting stuff on him when he is mature enough, and when I say putting stuff on him, I mean teaching him new specific lessons that do relate to gun dog training, because that's what he's going to be, we need to make sure that he is mature enough and mentally capable enough of receiving that lesson. For example, he is 5 months old, not a clue. If I blew my stop whistle when he was 10 yards away from me and I expected him to sit and stop and look at me, that is a completely unrealistic idea. It's a completely unrealistic expectation of him. He does not have a clue what I want him to do. A number of things that is why is: 1, he's not been taught it; 2, he's not learnt it; and 3, he's not demonstrated that he knows what we want him to do. But more importantly, I know through experience there is no point even attempting to try and teach him fairly complex elements of training, stopping on a whistle at a distance and then looking at me, because I know his little tiny infantile immature brain will not be able to fathom it out. He's too immature. So certain elements of a structured training program, you have to wait for these dogs to gain confidence, to gain maturity, to gain life experience, so they're in a better place mentally to be able to understand the lessons that we're teaching them. Okay, and then it goes back to there is no rush. There is no rush to train these dogs. Come on in. You two, come. Sit. Good. Well done. And you, sit. Off. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Good lad. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so something as simple as come here, he is mature enough to deal with that, process it, and make sure that he carries it out effectively and correctly. And if he does all of that, he's going to get rewarded for it. Very, very, very basic skill. But what I'm going to have to do, or what the owner's going to have to do, is proof that skill of him just coming back to me or them in as many different environments as possible, so that it never fails. Go on in, come. Good lad. Nice, there's your reward, good boy.